welcome to a game of Dota 2, the RedBull Esports Champions League, and we will see the last game of today, Group B, Rattlesnakes taking on Jalapeno, and we'll see if Jalapeno can actually take a bit of credit back because they have not won a single game this tournament thus far. Rattlesnakes, they need to win this one if they want to make it through. This is of course a Beyond the Summit presentation, and you are watching Shiver as well as Vikermont cast in this match. Vikermont, I believe you have something to tell us about the way that the tiebreakers will work?
Well, basically, if Rattlesnake win this game, so if they beat Xiaopengyo, which they are the crushing favorites in some respects. No offense to Xiaopengyo, I've actually thought that out of the teams that have, between them, Royal and Musi, I actually think Xiaopengyo have looked the best.
Okay.
They've had some very good plays, but they will probably lose this. So if they do, and if Rattlesnake ends up 3-2, they're going to be tied with Tongfu and Rising Stars for second place of the group. And there's not a way using win-loss to determine which of them is, did the best. So it's going to come down to time rating. So there's not going to be extra tiebreaker games. We don't really have the scheduling for it. So it'll be basically a time race method of tiebreaking. So Rattlesnake want to win fast, basically. Tongfu beat Xiaopengyo quite fast.
Yeah.
So Rattlesnake want to push quickly and try to get a win in a speedy fashion.
Yeah, let's see if they are aware of this ruling and if they are going to be drafting for that as well, of course.
I assume they're aware.
We weren't aware.
I guess you never... Well, that's true.
We'll see.
But we also don't speak Chinese and aren't participating.
Point taken. Well, Jalapeno already having a good counter push hero to annoy Rattlesnakes gaming with. We have got the Darkseer picked up by them. Alchemist is still in the pool if Rattlesnakes want to take that one on. OD is still in the pool as well, as we've seen Luo playing him often today. Of course, Rattlesnakes has played all their 5 matches today. Like, this is the 5th match they played, the 5th match they played today. And either that can help them greatly because they're super warmed up, or they can maybe be a little bit tired. We'll find out sooner or later. We have a Lifestealer, Batrider, Visage, and Nyx Assassin getting banned out, with the Shadow Demon and a Nature's Prophet picked up by Rattlesnake, and then Alchemist there for Jalapeno. And I think they're going to be happy with that, but I think Rattlesnakes, indeed, with the Nature's Prophet pick up fairly early, indeed are aware that this is a game where they should be pushing their lanes, their opponent's lanes, real hard.
Very early selection of the Nature's Prophet, while Xiaopengyo took a kind of anti-push lineup. So you have that Acid Spray, you've got the Ion Shell Vacuum already. If they can get something like Jakiro, they'll actually be great at defending high ground. Of course, they have almost no reason to lose slowly. They should probably either look to win, or, I mean, I don't know what... There's no real point to them just losing slowly and messing up Rattlesnake's tiebreaker position, except by maybe some sort of... fit of peak.
Well,
and it does look like, I mean, they are playing to win. So yesterday they were so tired at this point that I feel like they just picked a crazy lineup and said, have at it.
It's true. They had a very fun one.
They did. It was really, really fun. It was Timbersaw, Razor, Io, Treant, and what am I missing? I'm missing one.
I don't know, but it was fun.
But this time, these are pretty standard picks early on.
Yeah, but they could have a reason why they want to make sure that Rattlesnake is not going to go for a rank 2 in the group stages, because, of course, as you mentioned, these teams are sitting in a full open environment in terms of being able to hear each other, and you don't know what Rattlesnake is saying to Jalapeno. Maybe they're very mean.
Die!
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we got some supports getting banned out on Rattlesnake, 2 counter push supports as well, with the Rubik and the Jakiro. We've got a Weaver and an OD banned out on the side of Jalapeno, and of course, both heroes that we have seen on Rattlesnake today, I believe, maybe not the Weaver, but the OD. We've seen it a couple of times up on Luo. And they pick up another pushing hero, the Luna, for the 2nd time in a row, and for the 2nd time in the group stages. We see a Luna picked up. I wouldn't be surprised to see either a Chen or Enchantress as well, as that one is still in the pool. As a mid hero, which mid hero, I'm really secretly hoping for a Shadow Shaman solo mid. And isn't a Shadow Shaman one of the signature heroes of Luo? Used to be?
I think he's definitely played it. I think it's more likely to just get the Dragon Knight for Cabo again. But yeah, Shadow Shaman will be fun. I would definitely love to see that hero. We never see him, and when we see him, it's not in the mid. So sure, yeah, have at it. Get the Shadow Shaman, but because Xiaopengyo didn't ban Dragon Knight, I think it's just the more solid pick overall.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. It's a bit more boring.
I feel like a buzzkill for saying that. No. I take it all back. Shadow
Shaman
no
it is.
question.
Luo
Rasta
Shadow
for the win,
Shaman.
yeah.
One of the first Asian matches I casted were in the Eastern qualifier of the International 2. And Luo was playing a lot of Shadow Shaman at the moment, at that time, I think. So that's how I got to know him as a player. So I'm really hoping that he is going to be able to do the same thing here, but we'll see. It is indeed the Xiao Pengyo that's taking a ton of time to think about this next pickup, because they are ticking through all of their bonus time. And they end up going for Leshrac. So they have a Leshrac Alchemist combination. I think we've seen this a couple of times where we have got of course, the Unstable Concoction being able to be a setup stun for the Split Earth of Leshrac. And if you combine it with one extra support, you're going to have a very volatile trial lane there. Sand King for Rattlesnakes. Not as much push.
Of course, yeah, and the other thing, of course, of the Leshrac is that takes away a very pushy and a good support that Rattlesnake would have fit perfectly into their lineup, I feel. Shadow Demon Leshrac, of course, a combination that you would expect to have a higher win rate than it actually does, given how often people play it, but still, this is a good use case for it, and they would give them additional push. So, Xiao Pengyo managed to deny that. They also take the Magnus. Their lane's starting to take shape. They basically only need a support. I expect Rattlesnake to ban... Sorry, Rubik's already banned, but they still have other things that might go well with the Leshrac, Alchemist, and a support for the tri-lane. Alchemist can throw out an Unstable Concoction to guarantee that you actually get a good Split Earth. And then Darkseer on the off lane. This is a good lineup. I wouldn't mind seeing Io. It would make it very similar to DK's lineup earlier today.
Yeah, but they don't really have a good hero to relocate with Io. I mean, apart from maybe even Alchemist, because of course
yeah.
you can relocate in when the Unstable Concoction is already ticking down, so you have an initial instant long duration stun. But it's not really something that you want to be doing with the Alchemist normally. But we'll see. They ban out the Chen, Rattlesnakes it is, after picking up the Sand King, who is, by the way, not really that much of a pusher, but does create some extra playmaking capabilities for Rattlesnakes. And of course, if Rattlesnakes is gonna go for this hard push, it is gonna be tough pushing into a Magnus, because he'll of course have that RP that you're walking into, and it's not going to be the easiest of things to be dealing with. But we'll see if Rattlesnakes can take him maybe out of the equation before the push starts, or if they can even shut him down hard enough, or if they can just deal with it. Rattlesnakes, though, they get the TA banned against them. Let's see what they're going to go for mid. I'm praying. Shadow Shaman, Shadow Shaman, Shadow Shaman, Shadow Shaman, please. Even Cat says so. Thank you.
I'm gonna root for... Yeah, sorry.
Enchantress.
RIP.
Well, we did mention the Enchantress and the Chen as well in terms of heavy pushing, but which hero would you now put mid? We have seen Luna mid before, not in this tournament, but we have seen her. Nature's Prophet could be mid as well as a Shadow Demon, but which one are you expecting?
I expect it to be Luna, maybe, and then the Sand King tri-lane. Why not? We already had lgd.int do that. Seems like a rattlesnakey kind of approach. Luna is actually pretty decent against Magnus because of her capability to actually kill him sometimes with the high damage. Nature's Prophet, of course, is a safer, more standard option.
Yeah. Let's see, though, indeed, if Luo goes mid with that Luna. So, yeah. Last match of the day. Group stage match. Kind of like a bit of a show match for Rattlesnake, but still a pretty important one for seeding, as we found out. Lua will play the Luna. It will be Kabu on the Sand King. Sagam will play the Shadow Demon Icy on the Nature's Prophet. And then the last one there is Lanham on the Enchantress. And they smoked up while in their base. And will be roaming bottom. Not as fast as you might think they would be with smoke, but at least a little bit faster than Xiao Pengyo is rotating bottom.
Yep, and speaking of Xiao Pengyo, they will be on the Radiant side, trying to take a win, trying to, walk away from here. I personally think they do walk away here with their dignity intact, but they'll probably be happier if they also manage to get a win in here. Yeah. And so, the bottom lane, the safe lane, ZZZ on the Alchemist, Dark Knife on the Leshrac, and it looks like it'll be T, so 7 on the Windrunner. And then it's Peng Peng. I thought he was playing support earlier, but here we see him actually on the mid Magnus. And then that leaves Dao Dao, who now is, I think, fully in his Dark Knife form, because he is, of course, named Dark Knife in Chinese, and Dark Knife is named Dark Knife in English.
Awful.
Fantastic. We're going to call him Dao Dao, and he's in the top.
Yep. Expected lanes, I think, from Xiao Pengyo. Not really anything surprising. I think Rattlesnakes is gonna be aware of that as well. Hastrun will go to the Darkseer. And lanes, it looks like Luo might actually go towards the top lane. But we'll find out. We have got the block being done. Is this a Kabu Sand King mid? I love this. It is a Sand King mid. Who doesn't love this? Should be...
Luo's gotta be... Okay,
yeah,
so
the Iron Shell doing quite a bit of damage actually. But
yeah, once Sag rotated over, it was fine, but he badly needed to rotate over because with that Haste Rune, you're not getting away from Darkseer, who has Ion Shell on you.
yeah,
Sand King mid against Magnus, sure. I mean, if you go that Caustic Finale stacks, he obviously won't take it at level 1, but he can add that on and actually do a lot of harassment to Magnus. It's a potential good move against a melee mid.
yeah, as we can already see with the Burrow Strike. He got himself a lot of last hits, 4 last hits versus the 1 last hit of the Magnus, so far so good, I'd say. In the meantime, Z is having an okay time bottom, only 3 last hits. It's because Icy, oh, actually no, Icy is not able to get any last hits, as in not able to pull any creeps away from the lane. And will not be able to get any last hits. And in terms of experience, he only got a couple of creeps. So we'll see how he does here. And maybe he rotates into the jungle. But of course, Lanham is already in the jungle. And we'll see when he decides to rotate. He didn't bring any dust. So for now, probably not planning to. And in the meantime, on the top lane, we have got Luo doing okay. 6 for 2. He is forced to last hit with the Iron Shell right there. It's kind of annoying for him, but he should be able to live. And Darkseer is going to get harassed away. And I think our mid lane is going to be the one that is most fun to watch. And we already have got a Enchantress creep coming in. But it's just a creep, not Enchantress herself. So she just sends him there because she can.
So the thing about the Enchantress creep is it always threatens that it can, while it's still alive, it threatens the stomp if Magnus approaches the lane. Let's imagine, for instance, that 3 or 4 creeps have Caustic Finale on them. And Magnus is stunned by the Centaur. He probably dies. So it's that fear that keeps Magnus off the last hitting the creeps, and he's only at 4 for 0 while Kabu's at 8 for 0. So he actually got another Centaur, and he's just gonna do the exact same thing. It's a zoning effect basically. And Enchantress, she won't want to actually go for a full kill because the minute Magnus sees her, he just skewers away. And also, frankly, you want the Enchantress to be leveling a little more if your goal is to push the game into oblivion. It's not as important to get that first blood.
Yeah, and there, oh, that's the damage that you were talking about. Really nicely done there. Still a skewer, he should be fine. But it shows a bit of the potential that Kabu Sand King has. In the meantime, Dark Knife came from the middle lane, or from the rune spawn, but just comes in to just show his face and then walks back bottom.
Yep. And ZZZ is last hitting pretty well. He's 13 for 7 in the bottom lane. Getting a lot of denies, helping keep that lane away from Icy. Icy is being zoned extremely effectively. He's only, I mean, he has barely any XP. 139 out of 200 on his way to level 2. You see Darkseer, Dao Dao making the transition to jungling, and he's close to level 3 already. I think Icy should probably consider doing the same, as he's getting nothing done here. He is doing a good job with the treants, so the lane may come to him eventually. Actually, if I'm ZZZ here, I don't let the lane come into tower. I just tank it around here and let the tower not hit it. I think this is... It's still okay, because the next creep wave's coming in. But Icy, yeah, he's heading jungle.
Yeah, if the next creep wave coming in range of the tower, yeah, that one creep is gonna go down real fast. And this is actually gonna push out the lane. So maybe he's just gonna stack some Ancients, wait for the lane, and then only go after that lane is back. In the meantime, that was a buyback for the Magnus, because he was very upset of getting killed off. First blood goes to Kabu. Sand King takes down the Magnus. Level 4 for the Magnus. Level 6 for the Sand King.
He can kill him again if he wants to.
Epicenter being casted. There is a skewer though, but oh, he takes the Epicenter with him. That's gonna be another kill going the way of the Sand King. He might actually die for it. Oh, he lives. He lives. Nature's Prophet TPing in or thinking about it, but the bottle charges are there. And that's a 1-for-1 trade. Oh, I don't know if it's lucky or, you know, confidence.
Tower damage, really, primarily is the difference maker there. And Kabu still was within 1 auto attack. I completely understand his logic.
Yeah, he does get harassed again. I mean, he has full bottle charges again because of the Invis rune. And he actually gets a self, so he will be staying alive on the lane. Real nice. And Kabu comes back. Of course, now the level difference no longer there. Sad for Kabu that he no longer has that advantage. Both are now level 6 and RP on the board. No Epicenter left anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Kabu, if he had gotten that kill, though, he would have won this lane by such an incredibly enormous margin that I think he felt it was worth the opportunity. And yeah, of course, RP does put him in a little danger now. Now you see the role reversal, where Magnus can keep Sand King off of the creep area, because if Sand King walks up, Magnus just presses the RP button, walks around to the other side of Sand King, and skewers him into the tower.
Yeah, and into Shrek, of course, as well, who's still hanging around there. So it's a bit of a failsafe coming out here for Salpinho. They want to have the Shrek around just in case Cabo tries something else again. And they don't need to help out ZZZ because he's doing fine up against Icy by himself. The Darkseer is still in the jungle, taking a bit of damage. We do have the Windrunner rotating top to try and get something done. He's level 4, and he is actually getting okay levels. He's only 1 level behind Luo. Rotation comes from Cabo though, goes towards the top lane. Let's see if this Windrunner is gonna stay alive for a little bit longer. In comes the Darkseer. Sand King from behind, looking for a target, goes for the Windrunner, Burrow Strike and Disruption on both different targets. Windrunner will get taken down, Lucent Beam will do that thing, and the Surge will keep the Darkseer safe. Or will it?
Eclipse.
He's actually going in. Eclipse gets popped, in comes ZZZ. The stun comes up on Luo, and Luo walks right into the Magnus and tries to flee, but he is dodging it, and he is so fast! Magnus can't keep up. Luo running for his life right now. I don't think it will matter at all. No, he goes down. The Magnus with the kill. Nice pickup.
Yes, go on.
I was gonna say, like, I hear an epicenter, so it must be an important part of the fight, but then I see just Cabo walking there, you know, happily casting epicenter. Who was he thinking he would catch out?
Well,
Because he didn't have a Burrow Strike, because he didn't have mana.
it's okay. I mean, even Luo managed to, if he had managed to escape, that would have been insane, because the first shockwave kind of missed very wide of the mark. Second one aimed true. They do kill the Luna. Not actually that terrible of a fight for Xiaopengyo, actually, and it's not like they lost the tower either. If, I feel if Luo had hit 6 just before that fight, rather than during the middle, it would have been easier to kill those 2 heroes and just get out, rather than committing themselves to a bit of a wacky situation as it developed.
Yeah, Icy did manage to take down the tower. Oh my god, that dodge.
Mind games.
Mind games for sure. Just standing still, pretend you're not there, and he won't notice you. He still goes down, as does Darkseer on the top lane though. But he does, Darkseer does go down knowing that he did a lot of damage to Sagam and Luo. But yeah, that was Nature's Prophet going down. He did take down the tower, did not get the Knight, even though Dark Knife did try. So, in a way, I mean, it might be slightly worth it. It's the first tower of the game. Burrow Strike harasses the Alchemist here. But Sand King not going for it. Doesn't have his epicenter up, unfortunately for him. I wonder why that is. Tier 1 tower on the top lane gonna get pressured here as well. As we said during the draft, Rattlesnake need to win fairly fast for a better seeding for them. So the time limit, we don't know exactly what it is, but the time pressure is on Rattlesnake.
It is. They want to kill it. I mean, they want to win as quickly as possible. I don't know if they've actually done the calculations. I started to. I didn't get time to finish before the game actually started.
He wanted to be greedy, tried to go for this Alchemist. Burrow Strike didn't hit. Cabo now takes a stun, running away as fast as possible. Facebook's helping out, should be safe. And that is going to be the end of that. 3 for 4 on the kill score in total, in favor of Rattlesnake still. But Rattlesnake have now taken 2 towers, while XPY hasn't taken a single tower just yet.
Yeah. A bit of an odd game so far, certainly. I mean, you have to imagine that Rattlesnake are pretty tired. It's getting quite late. This is their 5th game of the day, and some of them they performed very well against multiple Tier 1 teams. Yeah. So I still think they're doing fine. They're ahead across most metrics, in my opinion, including getting to the point in which they can close out this game. Enchantress only level 5. It might be nice to get her a little bit more involved in the jungle, just to maybe get up to that level 6, maybe even another rank of Nature's Attendants or something. But still, they're happy. They're hitting most of their marks, and they've actually caught out Dark. Well, no, I don't think Shadow Demon can solo Darkseer. Nope. He just lightly taps him.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his demonic purge either. I mean, in terms of levels, oh, that Courier is alive. Epicenter goes for Dark Knife. I was gonna say, in terms of levels, the Leshrac is level 4. So that's the lowest level in the game, and I mean that shows for it. Doesn't really award a epicenter, I think, but you know, if you can get the kill on someone who is a very good anti-pusher, why not? If you can continue to shut him down, why not? Magnus comes in the mid lane. This could be a good opportunity for XPY to try and go for a big team fight if they can get a good RP going. They have almost everyone here in the mid lane apart from the Alchemist. And Alchemist is kind of needed as a follow-up for that RP. So we'll see if he TPs here, if they want to try and fight this. Or if
there is no blink though, and he's not even that close to it, so he would have to do a forward skewer into the RP. Not the easiest thing in the world, and also it doesn't position you as well as you want for the ensuing fight. And yeah, Rattlesnake, they didn't have the mana, so they really had no reason to press either. They walk away. We've got, I believe Kabu is fairly close to blink. Okay, only about 700 off, 800 off. He's doing pretty well. Luo is doing pretty well as well. He has the Ring of Regen. I assume that's from a disassembled
Burrow strike.
Trance.
ZZZ, trouble. Still tries to run. There is no slow anymore up on the Alchemist. And in comes a Skewer. Could be an RP. He gets it on Kabu. That's going to be his Blink Dagger delayed if he goes down there. There's no Shockwave. And a Burrow Strike in return. Nature's Attendance healing Kabu up as well as the Bottle Charges. And he might be able to get the Magnus. TP incoming. And that will be the end of that one. Leshrac coming in from the sideline. Split Earth will miss. Does get an Enchantress creep. Lightning, the slow is there. Another Burrow Strike up on 2. Here comes a stun. It might be doing that. No, it doesn't. He is not in the Sandstorm though. He goes down. Iron Shell doing
really
the damage.
time.
Yep, and that is going to be indeed the Blink Dagger delayed. And a very ballsy move. In comes the rest of his team right now though. They try to get a revenge. Let's see. They do Demonic Purge, the Darkseer right now. Vacuum is there though. Split Earth not hitting, but they do get the kill. Sagan with the last hit because of his Demonic Purge. 1-for-1 trade in the end.
Yeah, decent trade for Rattlesnake. Of course, they are trying to save for Blink on Kabu, so they won't be happy that the Sand King took a fall. Also, he was tied for the highest level in the game, so that gave Xiaopengyo a decent amount of extra XP. But Luo's getting pretty dangerous. He's got this Basilius. Actually, with the Basilius and regen, I don't know. I don't think Vlad's is usually... It's usually a pretty bad item for Luna for fairly obvious reasons. You don't get any of the lifesteal. You've got no heroes who really benefit from it at all, but it does kind of help you push.
Yeah.
No, I doubt it. I still really doubt it.
Well, 2100 gold. We'll see what Luo ends up going for. It would be a very team-friendly item for him to go for, but yeah, it's kind of doubtful. In the end, we'll take still down the tier 1 tower middle with Lanham and Kabu pressuring it. The fortification will go on, but we actually have Sagam just going for the Darkseer. Darkseer taking a ton of damage, tries to charge himself away, gets a vacuum before he will probably go down to the Darkseer take. No, he will be staying alive. In comes the RP. No RP. It's on cooldown still. In comes the Split Earth. Leshrac will be going for Lanham. Darkseer still goes down to the Sand King, and the power shot will finish off the Enchantress that got checked down. Luo, one more hit for the Leshrac, goes for the next target. Now the RP is up again on the Magnus, so he can't turn this around. Losing beam, he gets chased away and will end up probably dead. If there's one more losing beam, there we go. That's a double kill for Luo, and the only one alive is the Windrunner on the side of XPY. And that's gonna be getting a tier 2 tower because the lane was properly pushed in. And that is a very nice timing for Rattlesnakes.
I don't think Magnus could even have turned around and tried to RP. As soon as he starts turning, and as soon as the skewer cast animation, like that little trample he does before he skewers starts going, Luna just presses Eclipse, and he dies, and probably whoever else tries to join him dies. I don't think that would have been a good idea. So it was smart to try to run. He could have tried to skewer defensively and tried to get back with it. I don't know why he wasn't doing that. Maybe it was on cooldown? I'm not sure. My eyesight and ability to pay attention is kind of drifting.
Lack of sleep getting to you.
Well, mostly 11 hours into the cast. It's not the sleep.
Or that. 11. Yes, 11. Look at that. See the clock. 4 p.m. Ooh.
Yasha for Luna if he wants a Manta, which he almost certainly does. That's going to come pretty soon.
Oh, Demonic Purge. Alchemist might be in some trouble. But Luo already said let's not chase that, so a bit miscommunication there. Stun gets charged up, will be stunning himself. Let's see if Luo comes back. He still has that Eclipse. He doesn't have the mana to cast it though now again. And he of course has got the stick charges as well. It will be Roshan for Rattlesnake for the moment.
Yep. Rattlesnake, they probably take the Rosh. I don't see any way that Xiaopengyo can get through this. ZZZ, he's building the Shadow Blade. Pretty smart item. I don't think he can go for, because of the amount of damage they're relying on him to deliver. Again, this is an area where the Alchemist is pretty much their solo farmer. Windrunner has next to nothing. She's got a Bracer, regular boots of speed. If Alchemist is delivering all your damage, he can't go BKB first, even if he might want to based on the spells, which Alchemist will have trouble surviving. There's a Luna who has Eclipse and Lucent Beam. There's a Sand King who has Burrow Strike and Epicenter. But he needs damage because without damage they have nothing. So he's going to build Shadow Blade, maybe even another damage item after that before he starts BKB. Sooner or later, if Xiaopangyou are to win this game, they will need BKB on Alchemist.
Yeah, for sure. In the meantime, the Luna has managed to finish up her Mantis Tau. I think it is in the courier right now, but someone stole the courier. It's only her ultimate orb, actually. She has taken down an enormous stack of Ancients, so taking quite a bit of damage there, but we'll be able to do that. Good surge.
They surged him out of the... He was purged again. Sag keeps just purging this Alchemist to try to be like... Well, it does multiple things. It means that Alchemist has to move off the lane, and it's a potential kill. But just an immediate surge response takes him out. And they're going to try to flip it around with a smoke. Magnus, in the absence of Blink, you need the element of surprise. This gives them that.
Run. There we go. Goes up on Sag. Revenge, she says. Windrunner with the kill. Lanham trying to run away. We'll get Vacuum back and RP. That's a lot of hate, and Shadow Demon, he buys back. Lanham now goes down. Nice shackle up on Aishi. In comes the Eclipse. Luo taking a ton of damage. Nice split earth. Mechanism keeps Luo alive a little bit longer. Disruption coming out as well, but the Darkseer roll already placed on top of it, and that is Luo gone. Kabu comes in. No mana for an epicenter. Impetus will manage to take down the Leshrac, and the Windrunner running for her life. There will be another burst strike soon, but it's not even needed. Double kill for Lanham, and the Magnus, the last one alive, will TP himself out. It started out as a nice fight for Xiaopangyou, with taking down the Luna, and of course starting off with 2 kills before that already, with of course the Shadow Demon and the Enchantress, but buybacks on those two made sure that Rattlesnake still get this fight in their hands.
I mean, all they needed was to not use the RP on the Enchantress, I feel. And they have a fight well in hand, right? Like, imagine that they RP 2 or 3 as they come in, especially if they can get the Sand King and prevent him from getting 2 good Burrow Strikes. I don't know. I feel like Rattlesnake walked away with a fight, with a one fight from that they by all rights probably should have lost.
Yeah, and they're gonna continue on the bottom lane. Let's see if Xiaopangyou is gonna try to defend this. They don't have that RP, of course. And a fight loss at a tier 2 tower is always a risky one, because you might lose more than just your tier 2. Shackle is gonna latch Kabu to a creep. Kabu disruption keeps him safe. Lanham getting stunned up by ZZZ. Lanham is gonna... Oh, look at that. Untouchable, so annoying for an alchemist. Like, why isn't he hitting her? But he's like, oh, I'm thinking I'm gonna hit the Enchantress now. She does go down. Sand King lives though.
Brawler Enchantress build, not something you see every day, but the rank 4 and untouchable. I mean, the fact is, if the only source of their damage to actually kill you, or reliably, is Alchemist, and you know he's not going a BKB, why not? I think the max untouchable is actually fantastic.
It is very annoying. Oh, might have Luo in some trouble. In comes the Hate Train, perhaps? No, ZZ turns around. Aegis gets burnt on Kabu. Shackle ledges him to creep again. Disruption will be there again. Power shot will miss. And here comes the wall again. Vacuum RP. Catches only one, but catches the Burrow Striking Sand King, who runs himself out. Still has an epicenter up. Icy TP's out. And that should be the end of the fight. Shadow Demon, of course, still went down to the Alchemist. And Luo did not end up pushing the top lane all that much, but is rotating towards the mid lane, trying to lay down some pressure on the tier 2 there, but gets forced back by the power shot coming up from 7.
In a bit of trouble again. Unfortunately, it's only a regular Hellbear and not its Smasherly cousin, so they don't get a slow off or anything. But neither can, neither if you're ZZZ can you actually fight the Enchantress. What are you going to do, turn around and kill her? Not likely.
No. Oh, good luck with that. Level 4 untouchable. You don't really see that very often. Like, you barely see that. I like it a ton. It's, like, I think everybody knows how annoying it can be in pubs. And the more annoying the hero in general, the better it is. And
actually, Enchantress is close to tier 1, I think, in 1v1 solo. So you might see her tomorrow because of this ability.
Yeah, it's of course going to be... the first one is Shadow Fiend, but the others is going to be a draft. Yeah,
game 1 is 1v1 Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend. Games 2 and 3 are a drafting process. You might even see her banned, although I don't know, we'll see. I'm not that familiar with the metagame of 1v1.
No. 2 bans for each players, by the way, in case people are wondering. We are going to see tier 2 tower finally dropping. 1 tier 2 left to go. But Rattlesnake might be trying to go for high ground right now. But those shockwaves actually keep doing quite a bit of damage to all these people. They're gonna defend their tier 1 top. They still have all their tier 1 standing, by the way. both mid and bottom as well. So looking good for Rattlesnakes, and of course that major tower advantage gives them, together with the just advantage in terms of last hits and control, gives them an over 10k gold advantage. In terms of experience, it's going to be a little less. It's just under 7,500 with XPY actually taking a bit of experience back. We might have them going for this though. Magnus, our piece, the Shadow Demon. That's going to be a disruption, keeping him safe, and that's going to be a bit of trigger happy. Shadow Demon, he will still go down, but Darkseer Wall helping out with that one as well. In comes the epicenter, looking for a target. Kabu not able to find the target. The Shackle on Lana will also not be followed up on. So now Rattlesnakes is up against a team that doesn't have an RP and then doesn't have a Darkseer Wall. Oh, wait a second. Luo might die though. That might be a big thing. But also he stays alive. He was actually thinking about going for an Eclipse perhaps? Or no? Yeah? Awkward fight.
Definitely awkward, some whiffed or underutilized ultimates, but Rattlesnake are still generating the pressure, they're still generating the push. Tongfu, just for example's sake, they beat Xiaopengyo in 28 minutes, and Rattlesnake at 21 minutes have cleared out all 6 outer towers, so it's not just how you beat this one team, it's your overall time, and I haven't done all the calculations necessary, so I don't know the exact time they need. That's my bad there. I didn't realize it was time-breaking tiebreakers until fairly recently, but Rattlesnake are in pretty good shape, I think, so far.
28 minutes, right?
It's 28 for how long it took Tongfu, yeah.
So is that when the throne goes down or when the GG is called?
Oh, that was throne. I don't know when the GG was.
Because we have seen some thrones just not going down for a very long time.
It wasn't one of those, I don't think.
Okay, well, 28. 7 more minutes to go. Let's see if they can make it happen. That would be one team to beat. Kabu has not got his epicenter just yet. It's got 2,600 gold. He has picked himself up a vitality booster. Now, normally I would say he is gonna go for an Aghanims, but because he has a vitality booster, it might be something different. What do you think he's gonna go for with this one?
The Vit booster?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna look at a Vit booster and not say that they're building Atos, even though he's not building Atos. So it's a stacked question for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry for asking.
It could be Heart. I mean, there's a lot. It's either Heart or Atos.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that it will be an Aghanims and that he just thought, oh hell, I bought the wrong booster. You know, it happens. To me, that is. Huh.
Well, a casual booster isn't always the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Oh, Burrow Strike. Kabu finds himself in a bit of a trouble, but he has a haste rune and is running himself out of trouble real fast. Well, that's gonna be those people back to base. I mean, they're keeping a good, they're doing a good job at keeping XYP down. XPY. Only ZZ is actually trying to farm. He's farming in the enemy jungle, and that's of course the last place where Rattlesnake will look, because, I mean, they have full control over the map in a way.
They do. It's just a matter of when they feel confident to actually deliver the death blow. Possibly after Roshan. One strong option is just to wait out this minute and a half, finish off the Roche, get a second Aegis, possibly on Luna. She doesn't have a BKB, so she is potentially sabotageable. You might want to put that Aegis. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no reason to put it on anybody besides Luna, so I do expect that to happen.
I've got a gem
I could put it on Kabu, you know, you get 2 Atos casts per fight.
Yay. We'll see what he goes for.
You didn't rise to the bait, Sheep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 3,100 gold up on Kabu, so hopefully soon we'll know what he goes for. The Darkseer managed to pick up a gem. Dao has got the one that Sagam actually bought. Oh, nice! They took the one from the Shadow Demon. I was wondering, because why would they get a gem? But they take some control back over there. I mean, it's not the entire jungle, but they do get the camp again. They get a bit more of the lanes. They counterworded one of the high ground here. So, all in all, I think it's going to be a nice one to have. Of course, also nice to know that Sagam doesn't have his anymore. And Rattlesnake, they're just trying to farm as much as they can until they can take down Roshan. And of course, they have a new Ancient stack as well for Luo to take down on his Luna. And maybe even with the Ancient stack, with the Roshan kill as well, he might be able to get a BKB, depending on if that's what he wants.
Yeah, he's got a ton of money. I think BKB would be a great pickup. It's so good on Luna to be able to, you know, maneuver herself while eclipsing. He doesn't have these... a lot of time you see Luna going for things like drums just to get that, and Yasha. Well, actually, sorry, Yasha. What am I saying? It's part of Manta style. He has good movement speed, but not the fastest Luna in the land. In fact, I don't believe they have drums on the team. No, they don't. But still, that BKB helps you make sure that every Eclipse hit counts, that you get to the position you want to, and you don't die before you're able to deliver your damage.
Yeah, Roshan is indeed the one to go for right now. Luo is not there though, so if they want to put the Aegis on him, well then he has to run there right now. Pops the Mantis Tile to continue the push. And might actually TP to a tier 1. Of course, they still have their tier 1 standing, so why not? When Roshan is almost done, we'll see if he indeed goes for that or not.
You got that untouchable on Rosh, by the way.
Oh,
it's legit, man. It's a legit spell.
yeah.
They're building multiple, well actually, is he making... Could go Bloodstone, I guess? Sure, why not?
Sure.
Kabu right
no,
now
he's
has
still going for his
multiple pieces of
Aghanims.
Bloodstone. Yeah, he could make Ags and just leave the...
Oh my god, it's happened the way I thought it was. It's like,
Yeah,
shoot,
it's
I bought the wrong booster, doesn't matter.
No,
I just pick up the other booster right now and I still go for my Aghanims. I'm giving myself a pat on the shoulder. Yay.
I don't think it was the wrong item, it's just that the casual booster into Ags is...
Yeah,
fine.
I doubt he would make a mistake like that. I mean, it is
It's
Kabu.
possible, but that's not what happened. What happened is that he built the booster plus the Ags. It's a good pickup, honestly. They're making an Ags on Enchantress, too. She's not far away from it.
Wow, Luo almost solo kills the Alchemist. Doesn't get it, though. Luckily for Luo.
Nice epi.
Yep, that's an RP. Kabu, trouble, though. Getting solo RP'd, but might be effective. In comes Sagam. Disruption is going to be there. Kabu runs, but will go down. Nice Burrow Strike still. Picks up the Leshrac as he goes. Sagam in trouble. And that's all because, well, Rattlesnake didn't have Luo when they went in. Luo is still doing the whole solo mode bottom lane thing.
Yeah, they're playing around Rattlesnake. Frankly, they know they're in the playoffs. Even though they did draft a bit of like a push, kill, finish quickly composition, I think they're having a little bit of fun with it. Like, that was Kabu running in with his newly built Aghanims, just trying to one-shot the entire enemy team. Maybe if it was level 3 Epicenter, he actually could have one-shot the entire enemy team, but sadly it was not to be.
Nope, it might actually cost them a tier 1 tower, which is a pretty important thing for TPs, like we see just now. Let's see, the dust already popped, the BKB defensively popped as well by ZZZ. Shadowblade, he runs fast enough. Rattlesnake is not going to chase it down. On the top lane, by the way, the Stagam actually TP top to push the lane back out there. He's up against the Magnus by himself, but it looks like he wants to do something here. The Demonic Purge comes up as well, and he's gonna get some help by the Sand King. The Blink Burrow Strike interrupts the TP, and that will be no more Magnus on the side of XPY. And in the meantime, 4 heroes of Rattlesnakes pushing down the mid lane. This time with Luo, with the Aegis. Luo actually bought something. We'll see in the courier what he gets. That's a butterfly ready. Nice Darkseer wall. Split Earth comes as well. That's gonna be Luo scored back. He does have that Aegis. Luckily for him, we'll be up in just a second. Let's see what they can do with it. Tries to run, pops Samantha,
nice
and runs away. Stun gets chased still though. Nice Burrow Strike up on ZZ. Power Shot Luo taking a ton of damage again. Has to go back off again. That BKB would have been really nice by now. Or the Butterfly, which is still on the courier. There he gets it. It is Alchemist that ends up going down. Lanham with the impetuses. It is just too much coming off. But Rattlesnake taking so much harassment that they might even get forced back to go for a different push later on. Now that they also don't have an Aegis anymore, of course.
Yeah, the last hit of the Enchantress Impetus as Ulk was running away raised it up to just enough damage to kill him, which he actually had a lot of banked gold. And he ends up having to buy back. He builds just one portion of his cuirass, so it's the plate mail. That gives him armor, that's good, but he still won't live through potentially an eclipse. Oh, they're gonna put up 3 Lunas, maybe 5 Lunas if he decides to use Manta. Probably doesn't need to just yet. Where is he?
There's the Manta. Runs away. In the meantime, Epicenter, Burrow Strike up on the Leshrac. Very sad Leshrac. Darkseer goes down as well. But the RP up on 3. Here comes Icy and Kabu running for their lives. Kabu should be able to blink himself out, but it is gonna be the Enchantress that goes down from it. Still blink away from Kabu still. ZZ goes down for the second time this fight, and the Windrunner is the only one left alive here. And she cannot do anything. And Kabu, even though very low, he is confident enough that he can stand here. They take the Rex, and they should be forcing out a GG any moment. They are 20k gold ahead. They are 15k experience ahead, and they rotate towards the bottom lane. Rotate towards the tier 3 tower. Power shot, nicely dodged. Tower hitting up on Kabu though, that's not really something that you want to have. But, yeah.
Well, he shucks the aggro off, and that'll be at least 2 sets, I think. They don't have another RP available. Nice little Burrow Strike there. Dark Knife's gonna take a tumble. They can't kill Kabu, they can't get the Alchemist back. It's going to be at least 2 sets of racks. I think Rattlesnake have secured it. It's a little slower than Tongfu's time, but I think maybe Rattlesnake's other wins give them enough time to be highly ranked in the playoffs. We don't quite know the playoff draw just yet, but we do know what teams will be in it. From Group B, it will be DK with the only perfect record in the group stage, 5-0. It'll be Rising Stars, Rattlesnake, and Tongfu, not necessarily in that order. From Group A, it will be LGD, IG, I'm missing the other two.
Yeah, in the meantime, people are just trying... oh, sorry, I was not paying attention, so I don't know who you
Oh, no, it's okay.
have seen said. I'm just paying attention to this massacre that's going on here. And they're having fun, both teams. GG, of course, has been called. And Rattlesnake. Yeah, I think they're going to be very happy. I mean, they played all their games today, and it's an impressive record. They took down Tongfu, which is probably the biggest upset that they've done today. And, yeah, pretty strong showing from their part.
Ah, yeah, it's VG and Orange, and it is in that order.
Ah, okay. So, of course, this was the last game from the group stages for the Red Bull Esports Champions League. Tomorrow, the playoffs start. The playoffs are gonna start at 5 AM, I believe, CEST time. That is same time as today was, at least. And, of course, we'll be casted from the Beyond the Summit studio in LA, so LD and Co will be taking that upon them. Be nice to them, because they're gonna be sitting there for a very long time. It's gonna be a long day. There's gonna be delays of the schedule. I already linked the schedule earlier. I will link it again in a moment. You might not see the brackets yet, but you do see a bit of a time estimation. Also, of course, when the solo matches are. But the games are delayed. I mean, that's been basically the theme of all the 3 group stage games that we've had. Of course, us casting the group stages, 30 games casted by me, Shiver. You can find me on twitter.com/ShiverGaming, and of course normally on my own Twitch on twitch.tv/ShiverGaming. And of course my co-caster Vikromont, who has been here for almost all of the matches as well, so shout out to him. And of course, do you have any plugins, Vikromont, that you want to do? And shout outs, perhaps?
Well, I'd like to shout out to all... yeah, I have a couple shout outs. Shout out to all the other casters that have been doing some pretty long days. So Kent, of course, the LGD in-house caster has been here. He's actually on site at the LAN. And then, of course, all the Russian casters, Velat, Casper, Inmate were the primary people doing it. And so they, of course, did a fantastic job. Thanks to you for having me along for this. Of course, thanks to Beyond the Summit and the organizers of RedBull, the ECL, the primary sponsors, RedBull, of course, setting up a Dota League, and all the teams, and of course all the viewers, especially ones who watched, you know, a bunch of... I saw some people like talking like at the beginning of the night some days, and then at the end of the night. I'm just like, I hope you slept in between.
Yeah, which could definitely be possible, because there were some long days indeed.
Yeah. And just the only other note, people are wondering about like the timing tomorrow. It starts at the same time, should end at the same time, although I'm not 100% sure about the schedule. It's best of 3 for the playoffs. It's single elimination, and so half of the playoffs will be tomorrow, half of the playoffs will be the next day, and the solo tournament, the 1v1 solo mid tournament, will also be played over those 2 days.
Yeah, I just linked the initial schedule in the chat, but indeed be wary of delays like they have happened yesterday and today and the day before especially. So yeah, thank you for being here. And of course, it was kind of nice to, of course, last weekend we had a lot of, or not that many games, but a lot of extra production, and this was just cast. So it was a bit of a nice contrast, but both very enjoyable. But, yeah, gonna be jumping ourselves out of this match. I will play some commercials and music for you while we wind this thing down. So, thank you for being here, and good night, or good morning, or good afternoon, whichever you're doing. Here we go.